So today's exam review is going to focus on linear relations. So we want to be able to rearrange our equations and solve for unknowns, as well as graph lines and find points of intersection. So the first question here, we want to rearrange an equation. So given x plus 3y equals 10, we want to determine x when y is negative 2. So from the equation, x plus 3y equals 10. We are going to replace y with negative 2. So x plus 3 times negative 2 equals 10. So that's x, 3 times negative 2 gives us negative 6, so minus 6 equals 10. Now to get x by itself, we want to move this minus 6 to the other side. It'll become a plus 6, so x equals 10 plus 6, and x gives us a value of 16. Okay, our next one here, we want to graph negative 3x plus y equals negative 6. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you have it in the form slope y-intercept, which is y equals mx plus b. So we notice here we do not have the y by itself. We want to get that y value by itself. And that means we're going to move the negative 3x to the other side, and it will become a plus. So we'll have y equals 3x minus 6. Okay, so from there, a reminder that m is slope and b is the y-intercept. So for step 2, we want to plot the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, the b value is negative 6. So we're going to plot the negative 6 on the graph. And from there, we want to use the slope to get to the next point. So our slope is 3. If we have 3 as a fraction, it's going to be 3 over 1. And that means our rise over run is up 3 over 1. Okay? If we had a negative slope, we would be going down instead of up. So from the negative 6 y-intercept there, we're going to go up 3 and over 1 to get to the next point. Okay, and then with those 2 points, we can make a line. The next thing we're going to review is how we calculate slope. So calculating slope, we are going to use the equation m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, so that means we want to label our points. When you have a point, the x value is first, the y value is second. So we can label our points x1, y1, and x2, y2. Okay, so putting those into the equation, our y2 we've labeled as 6. We want to subtract y1, which is negative 2. And that's over our x2, which is labeled as negative 1, subtract our x1, which is 3. So 6 minus negative 2, that becomes 6 plus 2, which is 8. And negative 1 minus 3 gives us negative 4. Okay, if we simplify that, 8 divided by negative 4, that gives us negative 2 as our slope. Next, determine the equation of a line with a slope of 2 that passes through the point negative 5, 3. So we want an equation of a line, which is our y equals mx plus b. To have our equation of a line, we would need a value for m and for b. So what we notice in the question here, it gives us a slope of 2, so our m is 2. But it doesn't give us our y-intercept. So that means we need to take this point, the negative 5, 3, x is first, y is second, and put those into the y equals mx plus b, and then we're going to solve for b to find our y-intercept. So our y is 3, our slope is 2, and our x is negative 5 plus b. Okay, to solve this, we need to do 2 times negative 5 gives us negative 10. And then to get b by itself, we want to move that minus 10 to the other side. It'll become a plus. 3 plus 10 equals b, so 13 equals b. So now that we have our slope of 2 and our y-intercept of 13, we can have our equation. So therefore, our equation is y equals 2x plus 13. Okay. And now that we are able to rearrange equations, graph our points, we need to look at the last thing, which is finding points of intersection. And a reminder that there are 3 methods to do this. We can find our point of intersection by graphing, by using substitution, or elimination. So finding a point of intersection by graphing, looking at one equation at a time, we're going to graph the first one, y equals 2x minus 7. So the y-intercept is negative 7. That's starting here. And our slope is 2, which is 2 over 1, meaning our rise of 2 and a run of 1. So going up 2 over 1 to get to the next point. If you want to continue on, you can keep going up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, as many times as you want, but you only need 2 points in order to graph a line. Okay, now looking at our other line, y equals negative 4x plus 5. So our y-intercept is the number by itself, which is 5. The slope is the m value, the number in front of the x, which is negative 4. That is a fraction, is over 1. Since this is negative, that means we're going to go down 4 and over 1. So starting at a y-intercept of 5, which is here, we want to move down 4 and over 1. If you want to keep plotting points, move down 4 again and over 1. Okay, again, you can continue on, but as long as you have 2 points, you can connect those points and make your line. Okay, so our point of intersection is where these 2 lines meet. That point is right here, our point of intersection. So we do x first, so that's 2, and the y value second, which is negative 3. Okay, so that's graphing to find a point of intersection. The next method is using substitution. So the steps we want to go through for substitution, the first thing we want to isolate x or y for one equation. That we have done because one of our equations is y equals 2x minus 7. Y is by itself there, so that's good to go. The second step is that we're going to substitute the 2x minus 7 into the second equation for y. Okay, so for the 4x plus y equals 5, where y is, we're going to put 2x minus 7. So 4x plus 2x minus 7 equals 5. From there, you want to solve for x. So that means we're going to put our like terms together. The like terms are the 4x and the 2x. So 4x plus 2x gives us 6x. And then to get x by itself, we want to use SAMDEB to move things to the other side of the equal sign. So first we're going to move this minus 7. When we move it across, it'll become a plus. And then last, we want to move this multiplying by 6. When we bring it across, it'll be a divide. So x equals 12 divided by 6. So that gives us an x value of 2. So once we have the x value for the point of intersection, we want to solve for sub the x value into the equation to solve for y. Okay, so I am going to take that x equals 2, and I'm going to sub it into this first equation where x is, and we're going to solve for y. So y equals 2 times 2 minus 7. So that's 4 minus 7, and y equals negative 3. So that gives us a point of intersection of 2, negative 3. Okay, so those are our steps to solve by substitution. Now, lastly, we want to look at our method for elimination to find the point of intersection. So looking at this one here, when we have elimination, we want to make sure that they are all set up. So we need to make sure all of our terms line up. Okay, so that means your x's are stacked, your y's are stacked, and your constants are stacked. We have that. Next, we want either the number in front of the x to match, or we want the number in front of the y to match. So here we do have matching y's. If we didn't, we would need to find numbers that we can multiply our whole equation by in order for it to match up. So since they match up, we need to determine whether we're going to add or subtract to eliminate the y value. So we have a positive y and a positive y, so we would want to subtract these two equations in order to eliminate the y. So subtract to eliminate So when we subtract, we want to do negative 2x subtract 4x gives us negative 6x. Y minus y gives you 0. And negative 7 minus 5 gives us negative 12. From there, we solve for x. So to do that, we want to move this multiply by -6 to the other side and divide. So x equals -12 divided by -6. That gives us x of 2. And lastly, we sub the x value into one of the equations. To solve for y. Okay, so you can choose either one. You'll get the same answer no matter what equation you choose. So I'm going to pick that first one. -2, the x is 2, so we sub that in, plus y equals -7. So we get -4 plus y equals -7. Then we want to move this -4 to the other side. It'll become a +4. Y equals -7 plus 4. And that gives us a y -3. Okay. So our point of intersection, again, is 2, -3. Okay. So these are different types of question that you will see for your linear relations unit. If you have any questions, please let me know.